Can we go to the caller there? Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, thanks for reporting on this. I do have to correct you on one thing. I was instrumental in getting a Marine Corps League started about 7 years ago, and we do military funerals, and we did apply and got M1 Garand rifles from the U.S. government, and they was very specific about it. And
sir, you're not listening to me. Sir, hold on. You didn't hear a word I said. Not a word I said. I said this has been in the last 15, 20 years they do this. The government gifted those Civil War cannons to...
Yes, sir.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. This is new. I know that, so you're not correcting me. Go ahead.
Well, all I wanted to say was when they sent us the weapons, they did say they was loaned. They didn't say that they was given to us.
No, I know. I'm saying now they're telling you that. I understand.
Okay. All right. But I'm also a lifetime member of VFW in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, home of Papa Rush Limbaugh. I have just made an urgent call to my commander.
Stay there, sir. And I wasn't trying to be rude to you. I just want to be specific. I know they do this now. I'm saying that's the contract trick. And they have you sign contracts to then domesticate you and basically turn you into informants. You're just being punked. You're being made into servants of the feds and InfraGard. Stay there, sir. I want to talk to you, Roger. Thanks for calling. Stay with us. Ron Paul is coming up in the next segment now. He's not going to be able to get on the floor, so stay with us for that. And I'm going to continue with Roger and Matt and Mark and everybody else who's holding. Roger, I wasn't jumping on you when you called in to correct me. The reason I jumped on you is I know I predicted last hour how this is going to go. And it's going to be, well, you guys, hold on just a second. You guys signed all the documents, so now you're basically our slaves. But the point is they're lying about all this previous stuff, and I've got to get the actual year, but I talked to a VFW head who won't come on air, and he said, yeah, they started having to sign forms the last 15, 20 years. He's got to pull some documents up. But the issue, and then I'm going to let you talk, and I appreciate you calling, is that they, out of the gates, are threatening the veterans who had this stuff pushed on them and given to them to go out and do services for our dead veterans. And you don't, it's bad enough to be registering them and making them, getting ready to turn the stuff in. But what's even worse is the fact that out of the gates, they're bullying them and threatening them with the law when they do so many great services. But just go ahead.
You're very correct. By the way, I'm the one that called in last week and advised you not to get waterboarded, so I know what's going on. I just made an urgent call to my commander of my VFW and requested to speak at the next VFW meeting, and I would like to challenge all VFW members to do some research, get all this stuff together, and inform their other members. That's the only way that we're going to get this stopped. We all know what's going on, especially the people who listen to your program.
Now, you're a former Marine. You called from Vietnam and then a retired police officer. You heard me break down how this is treating them like they're criminals out of the gates to get them all scared. I bet $1 million next it's going to be, we want to get you to serve us now. Correct.
They've already tried that. That's why I was an officer in the Marine Corps League, and I was on the Honor Guard. When they sent the National Guard to Iraq, they're the ones that does military funerals in Missouri, and we filled in. I did 280 funerals in 1 year.
And you get treated like a piece of filth and threatened by the BATF.
Correct. And then I got ostracized from Marine Corps League and the VFW for speaking out 3 and 4 years ago about the same things that you talk about every day.
But I bet they're not laughing at you now.
No, they're not, and I'm getting ready to jump in big, and I'm going to get some things done. Might not help, but at least I'm going to try to get the fellow veterans, the ones, especially the VFW members, the ones that risked their life, to stand up one more time.
Well, it's a shame that we would be suckered, the American people, into wars that were questionable, and then when the tyranny is here, this is the time. I mean, if people ever wanted a chance to fight for America by speaking out, at least, this is it. I mean, this is the real deal. This is D-Day. This is Red Dawn. This is happening, my friend.
A former Marine friend of mine 3 years ago had come home from Vietnam, never had been a problem, worked in one place all of his life, and he finally had a nervous breakdown from PTSD after 40 years. And he couldn't work anymore. He got his 100% disability, And about 2 weeks after he got it, the BATF pulled up in front of his house and took every gun he had. And that just helped break him a little bit more.
And by the way, there's no law to do that. It's felonies under the 68 Gun Control Act. But they're now giving people a fake jurisdiction. Like they force shots on you, there's no law. They take your kids without a proper court order, and they come and take vets' guns every day. I see it in the news when there's not a law for a psychological made-up issue.
Correct.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, look, it's coming to a head. They have decided to turn all the young cops and military and the gang members and the illegal aliens they're hiring for the military loose against the veterans. And they plan to have both sides kill each other and then bring in the I-4 after everything breaks down. And I'm telling you, folks, they're planning Reconstruction-style occupation in the United States.
Yes, they are, but what they don't understand is it's going to be really bloody, and there might not be anything left if they do that.
Well, I mean, it's not talk, though. Americans are always like this. We put up and put up, but when the sleeping giant gets up... That's right. I mean, it's... I tell you, I'm not looking forward.
Some captured SS officers was questioned in World War II. By the way, my family goes all the way back to the Civil War, serving this country. So we are all patriots. But they asked this SS officers what they was afraid of most in the United States military, and they said, a mad American. And he said, if we had a big battle and we annihilated a unit, we didn't want to fight the next ones coming up because they was mad and they was ruthless. So the powers that be, and I'm sure they're listening to this show, they better take heed.
We have to know who the enemy is. It's Bernanke, it's the Rothschilds, it's the Rockefellers, it's Geithner. When we get this country back, they're all going to get a fair trial. And folks, I'm risking my life doing this. They're watching me right now. We're going to take them on, and a lot of us are going to have to give our lives in this fight. But in the end, we are going to kick their butt. God bless you, sir. Good to hear from you. More vets coming up. Got to basically register their guns and turn them in to the feds. That's the new freedom. Stay with us.